Yo, what's up, friends, and welcome back to a new OGN update price prediction, where we will be taking a look at everything that I see. Recently, we are down about 2.65%, but this is not something to worry about, guys, okay? And I will be taking a look here and talking to you guys on why I'm not really worried. We can see here that we have here a level of resistance that we had at about 0.65, okay? This level was very crucial because we could see we broke out of the recent levels of support that we have here at about 0.56, and we created here a level. So we were at a level of support at 0.56. We saw that this volume coming down for the bearish side, breaking down on our levels of 50 MA, and then creating a level of support right underneath it. Okay, so we wicked down a little bit, but we didn't fill in some gaps that we have here. And you can see right after we talked about how there was a ascending triangle, as you can see here, but you can see that we had a supply here at 0.65. And I stated that if we break this price here, retest back, we could be coming down to a level of support that we have recently that hasn't been touched before in quite some time at about 0.54 and also 0.50. So let's take a look at what happened. We could see here, once we zoom out, we are still under the 50 MA, guys. So please be cautious of that. And this is the only thing that's that I'm taking a look here with the OGN that I don't like, okay? We need to see some volume coming in. I stated that since price came back down here at 0.50 and we were very oversold, as you can see here, I stated that there could be a little bit of rejection that happened at 0.51 and 0.50 when we were at 0.5186. Price went down a little bit. We came back to our zones here, and you can see that price at these levels rejected it, okay? We were very oversold, so there had to be some level of volume coming in the next coming hours. And gladly that happened, okay? We saw some hope coming in for OGN, as you can see, volume coming in as well, breaking this level of 0.56, but not fully closing there. You can see that it wicked up there, but so it stated that this level is still hasn't been closed above from these levels here. We can see a lot of wicks happening here, guys. Take a look here. For OGN, we created a level of support at 0.50. Creating that double bottom that I'm always talking about and preaching. We broke this level of downtrend, as you can see in the 1 hour. For these last few candles, we were oversold as well. We were creating a level of support at these levels. So everything was lined up, okay? Everything was lined up at these levels. And then once we saw this, since this is the 1 hour, so we could have seen the volume here increasing a little bit, and then some rejection happening. But once we saw this big volume coming up, I wanted to see price actually break this level of recent resistance where the last bullish candle, as we see here, the last order block was at. So I wanted to see price, as you can see here, actually come out of this place here, come out of this zone, retest back at these levels at 0.56, indicating that now is the bullish momentum is taking over, as you can see here. But that didn't happen. As you see, this level of resistance is still valid here, guys, okay? Because as you can see, once we broke this level here from this bullish momentum that we saw, this there's a lot of wicks that happen. You can see 3-4 wicks here happening at the level of resistance, but we are failing to break there, guys, okay? So this level is very crucial as well because it is right above the 50 MA. So depending on how we break out of there, it will give us the influence that price can reverse. But as you can see here, we now have a valid zone where we have a valid where price broke out of there. So 0.51 is also pretty valid because as you can see, we have wicks coming down here as well for OGN, and we also have right underneath it at 0.50 as another key area of support. So depending on how we react from these levels, we can see that recently we have a supply in the shorter term at 0.53. So depending on how we break this zone here, will give us the influence that we could rise up to the levels that we have at about 0.55. Now, if price fails to break out of there, if we see volume decreasing, Bitcoin decreasing, projects tend to follow it. So if that happens in the next coming hours, we could see price retest back at 0.51. Hopefully, coming back down here, being oversold. And if that's not the case, hopefully holding up to the levels of support that we have here at 0.51. But just keep in mind that 0.50 is a very critical level of support as well. So be cautious of that level as well, and see how price reacts off of it, because we can see before, as we talked about, there has been this was where the supply and demand was created at. We can see the supply here, recent resistance at 0.55, and also the levels of 0.51 where it was a recent support level. So be cautious of that, okay guys. Just know that if we do break out of these levels, we could see some momentum happening for the uptrend. But we have to first, since we are in the range of market now, it's it could go either way, depending on how we react on this recent resistance at 0.54 will grant us the confidence that if we can break out of this zone, retest back at 0.54, hopefully we'll touch back on 0.54 at these levels, since it's a very high resistance level and it's right above the 50 MA. Depending on how we react from here, if we can break this level, retest back now at 50 MA, then I believe OGN can be valid again, and we could see some momentum happening for the longer term. But just please be cautious of that. If we do see some retracements back at 0.51 or 0.50, and also depending on how we break from 0.53 to touch back on 0.5536. Just a quick update on OGN. I hope you guys are liking the videos, and any support would be very appreciated, and it helps out the channel as well. And I hope to see you on the next one. Take care.